Okay.
Hey everyone, this is Angela Donahue, and I'm a business and tax strategist. And right now I have one of my clients, Miss Joyce Wesley, who is going to, we're going to do a little client interview about my services and hopefully how she's been blessed. I wanted her to be completely honest though about everything that I ask her. So format is I'm going to ask her a question and then she's just going to um, answer the best of her abilities and not be stressed in answering. So say hi, Joyce.
Hi, I can't see. Let me see. Hold on.
Okay. Can you see me?
Okay. Now I can see you. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I really wanted to get started on was just tell a little bit about your business because I do want to highlight your business. And if you have a website or any contact information, go ahead and put that information in as well.
Okay. So my name is Joyce Wesley, and I am a mental health therapist. I have been a mental health therapist for over 20 years, and I do have a private practice. It's Joyce Wesley, LCSW. And I generally do advertising by word of mouth, really. It's a small practice, and I like that because I really enjoy connecting with my clients in a very, a way that they are able to really be, blessed by the services. So essentially, you can find me any and everywhere because I'm a school board member as well, and so I'm on the where you can just kind of Google my name and it comes up. But then also Psychology Today, you can also find me there.
Okay, so there's uh, what do you call it? A directory on Psychology Today?
Yes,
Okay, and
there's a
then they
direct
just in
Psychology
the
Today.
mental health
Yes, ma'am.
area. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
I just wanted to
Mm,
make sure they could find you.
absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I know we've been working together for a while, but do you remember what was going on in your life or business? Well, really, it was your life at that time because I think that your business came along a little later that
Yes.
made the decision to work with me, gave you the decision to work with me.
So I was really just looking for a tax preparer at the time, and I had a trusted friend that suggested you, and I trust his judgment just because we kind of are in the same circles, and so I met him in a circle that was kind of spiritually based, and so I was able to take his information and use that, and like I said, I trust his judgment, so.
Okay, and then
Like,
as your business progressed, what were
yeah,
some
so
of the, yeah, go ahead.
go ahead. I'm
I was
sorry,
just
go
going to
ahead.
say, what were some of the things that I think I remember that you're asking when you first started your business?
Okay. So deductions, things like that. I was really ignorant about what that looked like, as well as with my husband's business. And so I was able to gain some insight on how to navigate through that process because it can be, it can be a really sticky process if you're not um, just knowledgeable about it. And then because I've heard of so many different practices being corrupt, I was really concerned about those types of things. And so I was really fortunate to be connected with you because I didn't have to be concerned about that.
Well, I thank you for that. I am happy to hear that one.
Thank you for that.
You know,
Wonderful.
integrity is my thing. So I mean,
Absolutely.
honestly, there's a lot of tax deductions out there that people just don't take advantage of because they don't know them. And then what they do is they turn around and try to do something that's not as honest and
Right.
not well documented, so then they get in trouble. So
Right.
that's actually how I operate, is by and of course you are a witness to that. Try to
Yeah.
find the tax deduction that works for you in
Right.
your situation. So okay,
Absolutely.
so let's see. How well did I explore what was important to you?
I would say very well. I think that you were able to capture holistically, personally as well as business wise, what my needs were. And I felt like you were able to kind of tailor it accordingly. And you were able to also do that with my husband. So sometimes when it's not as easy to capture his information because I'm a little more readily accessible, you were very flexible in helping us to kind of, make sure that everything was captured.
I like that. I like that word flexible. I had to learn that though. that
I,
one, that one in
I'm still
focus.
learning it. Right, right,
And then as
right.
I get older, the focus is, yeah, okay, anyway.
I know, right? That's okay. It's a part of it. And I think that, the older piece, it helps though, because you have the insight too to recognize it. All populations are different. And so you need different things as we age and as the climate changes in our lives. And so it's really helpful to be able to have all that.
Yes, COVID has been unkind to some of us. So, yeah.
Absolutely. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So yeah, that's been
Uh,
helpful.
okay, so do you know the biggest breakthrough that you've experienced with working with me?
Um, I would just say insight and education,
Okay.
which I think is immeasurable because as you gain knowledge, then you gain wisdom. And so the more knowledgeable I become, the more I'm able to really be effective in what I do business wise and personally. And then that has, the effects of our reaching. So, and I think that that's something that oftentimes we don't have the knowledge necessary to really navigate systems appropriately. And when you don't have that, you can really be at a loss.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just to really be able to have that knowledge, it's empowering to be able to know so that you're able to navigate, the right.
So this question, I should have asked you earlier, but now, now that I'm thinking
That's
about it,
okay. It's okay.
I'm one of the things I plan to do is a retreat for business owners to basically restructure their businesses. Um, how well do you think, I mean, I'm not asking you to participate, but is that
Sure.
something that you think is necessary, like a redo? Like I've started my business and man, I messed up. So now I
Sure.
need to go back and see if I really need to restructure and do my business the correct way,
Right.
not just accounting and finance, but also procedural wise. And
Right.
did I do the correct LLC or should I have been a corporation? Because
Right.
goals do change once you start. Is
Right.
most people start with a sole proprietorship, except for
Right.
that start get a LLC mean, which I totally hate, but but
Right.
most people start with a sole proprietorship, and then as they grow they need different structure. So
Right.
and honestly I'm thinking about doing a retreat. So is that something that you think that a lot of people would be interested in, or I mean, just give me your idea. Just be honest though.
Yeah. So, to be honest with you, I don't know if a lot of people be interested in it, but I think that a lot of people should be interested in it.
Got it.
And when I say that, what I mean is oftentimes we don't think that we have time to do anything that is outside of the 8 to 5, the rigmarole of life. But life will teach you that if you don't take time for the most important things, you'll pay in other ways.
That's
So
right.
I think that just, to be honest with you, I think that it's something that's extremely important. And I think that we need to really, examine that, hey, it's time to take a look there and really kind of restructure some things so that we make sure that everything is the way it should be. So.
Yeah, because that was one thing, look, before COVID,
Right,
that I
right.
used to do for myself, is I used to take
Okay.
myself on a retreat.
Oh,
and
wow.
as a business and
Right.
rethink my business. So a lot of people just don't know how to do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one of the things that I'm thinking about adding, seriously about
Okay.
adding, because
Yeah,
it really is necessary. Okay.
absolutely. I agree.
Next question. On a scale from
Okay.
1 to 10, how would you rate my skills as a business and tax consultant?
I would rate it a 10. I
Really?
absolutely would. I would. And I don't always do that because, like I said, I'm on the school board. And so we do a lot of disciplinary, we do a lot of ratings. And I, generally speaking, don't go to the extreme on most
Right.
things, probably anything, quite frankly.
You.
Um, but I feel like I've seen some tax preparers, and so that may skew my scoring because it's kind of like when you've seen the worst of the worst, when you really
I
have
understand.
somebody that's,
Mm.
really gets into the weeds with you and tries to kind of give you resources. And I mean, to the extent that really reaches beyond just preparing the tax. And that's probably why I could really attribute a 10 to it because to me, that's what you've done. I have always been able to just touch base with you, ask you questions, and I don't always have to, you know, pay for every moment that I'm in your presence, and so
Yes.
I appreciate having the opportunity to, just gain insight.
Well,
And
I
so
have to
that's,
make y'all pay sometimes because y'all don't listen to what I say
I
unless I
know,
put a dollar to it.
I know it. And I think that you teach me that too, that
Yeah.
you do, you do make sure that we do pay. And
Right.
I mean, sometimes like, my goodness, is it that? Is it that much? But then you see, I keep coming back because it's actually worth it. It's worth, yeah, it's really right.
Thank
It's
you.
worth making sure, that it's done and it's done the right way. And you
And
just don't want to
document
pay
it
it.
too. Yeah, document it. That's my
Absolutely.
thing, is that
That's it.
I'm always on it about how
Right.
do you document this effectively so that you can get your
That's it.
expense or your business um
Right.
acumen across. So
Absolutely. So I appreciate that. Yeah. So yeah,
thank
I would
you.
give it to him. No problem.
Okay, and then let's see, what has been your least favorite thing about working with me so far?
So I would say the least favorite is I don't have more access.
Okay.
That's probably the least favorite
Okay.
because you are busy. So I don't have access as much as I would prefer. But we know that the flip is that we've got to have good boundaries. And
Exactly.
so you've got to. I'm a therapist, so I preach it
Right.
and teach it constantly. I do.
Right.
But I'm also the type that I love to be able to touch everybody when I want to. That's just
Right,
to
right.
make them joy. So
Well, we all do. We all do.
that's
And
right.
that's actually a luxury that has to be paid for in
That's
most
right.
cases, right?
That's right. And you got to know that worth. You do.
Yes, exactly.
My husband talks to me constantly about what is your missed appointment fee, Joyce. You have got to make sure that you have that in there. So we all have to have those boundaries. So no,
Yes.
I applaud you for it, quite
Yeah.
frankly.
Right.
And
I was
so
gonna say, and as a therapist, you definitely need to have
that's right.
your paid in there.
You have to.
That
Yeah.
you have to have that.
Right.
So, because of
Yeah.
course, if we don't get paid, sometimes we are a little bit resentful,
Sure.
So,
If you don't, right. If you don't
uh-huh,
take care of those things,
because
and
you
then
want
you're
to
not
take
going to
care of
be
your
in
home.
business long. Well,
Say
you're
that
not going to be in business long if you're not.
exactly.
I mean, that's just the truth of the
It
matter, and that's
is.
what sometimes we forget about that it is business, and
It
so
is.
you gotta make sure you take care of the business people.
And you've been good about respecting that. I just I tease you,
I
but
appreciate. I
that,
appreciate that. I try my best to have some balance.
you
Okay,
do, you do.
I appreciate. I appreciate
Okay.
it.
So the very last question is, on a
Okay,
scale from 1 to 10, how likely
okay.
are you to recommend me as a business and tax consultant?
Well, if you're a 10, you know it's got to be a 10 because because I
All
mean,
right.
it's so funny because I would have clients like in group, and we would always rate them. I would ask them, "Well, what's your number?" And they would sing that song. You're a 10. I'm a
10.
10. I know you. So it would definitely be a 10.
I'm a
Yeah,
10.
Yeah, anybody that has asked me for a referral, I definitely do that. Yeah.
Well, you have definitely been a 10 for a client, I promise you,
Mm.
even though we talk and things like
Right,
I mean, if I ask you to iron out something, then you
right.
will do that. And I appreciate that. That's one of the things that gives a good workable relationship is when the tax preparer, business consultant asks you to do things, and then of course you do them. The other flip side of that is when they don't do them, because that actually
Right,
makes that strains the relationship. So you are a
right.
10 as a
Yeah,
client, and I really appreciate you, and I
thank you.
appreciate you giving me this interview, and hopefully it'll help someone, because I think we covered a couple of points that in business that we need to to touch on, as
Absolutely.
far as um the procedures, the
Right,
value that you should have for yourself, the
right,
pricing for other customers, and the
right.
boundaries. So
Absolutely.
I think we did a good job of addressing all of that, even though this interview was about me.
I know, right? I know, right? But you know what? It's always a blessing to me when people are able to gain something that will help them individually. So I
Yes,
appreciate the
yes.
opportunity.
All
And
right.
I hope that this
Yes.
has been helpful. Yeah.
Okay, well, Joyce, have a wonderful day, and thank you
You too, honey.
again. And I'm going to stop the recording if I can see this correctly. Right.
Okay.